welcome back to the Marco Martinez Show. How's everyone doing today? Hope you are doing fucking fantastic. Like usual, go ahead and drink your water or coffee. And honestly, speaking about coffee, so McDonald's came out with a new flavor, a pumpkin spice, basically. And am I white to say that I actually liked it? Normally I get the caramel one because I don't know if it's just the vanilla or either they don't put a lot of pumps in it or something, but I always have to with the caramel, I get just a normal order. With the French vanilla one though, when I get a normal order, I'm tasting more coffee, which I mean it's coffee and I don't mind it. But it's I'm not tasting any vanilla. So then it's like, what's the point of spending the I mean, granted, it's $1.07 because this is why I like getting the coffees at McDonald's, because there's always a deal where all your coffees are always $1, 99 cents. Like that's a steal in any size too. Like that's a steal. And so with the French vanilla one, I always have to get a double or extra, whatever. But then when they do that, then it's too intense. So it's like, are they putting it in or not? And so with the pumpkin spice one, it's got a right amount of taste to it, right amount of cinnamon, a right amount of pumpkin, and a good balance of coffee. Which is funny because I'm not a person that loves pumpkin. Like, I really don't like anything pumpkin. But when I tried this one, I was shocked. I'll be honest, I was shocked. But that is not today's topic. Today's was really just growing up. I know this sounds simple, like a simple one. But no, it's more... I'm looking into, I just recently saw how Justin Bieber, he just recently had a kid. I think might have already been born. This was a bit ago, but I was thinking, I'm just like, damn. I remember when I was younger, people playing Baby by him, and then it went on to Boyfriend and Tell Me You Love Me, and or not Tell Me You Love Me, As Long As You Love Me, and all these other ones. And I just look back like, damn, I'm getting older. I mean, I'm 23, which is still very young. But when it comes to a lot of the things that I've grown up with, they're either non-existent or they're going to be non-existent. And what I mean by that is with artists, I'm rarely hearing anything about Selena, rarely hearing anything about Justin, rarely hearing anything about the Jonas Brothers. One Direction's really not even a group anymore. I know, 5 Seconds of Summer, I don't think they've released an album for a couple years again. And they've been pretty quiet. I think they've been on tour, though. So, I mean, I guess they're still doing headlines. But when I look back on when I first listened to them, they were babies. They were young. And I look back now and listen to what they are putting out now. You can just hear it in their voices. I was like, holy shit. And then you go look at their ages, somewhere in their late 20s, early 30s. And you're like, what the fuck? No way I've aged that much already. And because with my generation, we've grown up with... I like to consider my generation really the generation that grew up with the advancement of technologies and the advancement of social media. Because yes, our parents or aunts, yes, they grew up with MySpace and with the Blackberries, and that was a futuristic thing and whatnot. But in my time period, the iPhone lineup came to be. Then like Apple really strived during my time, and they still are. Samsung, Android, like they've came out of nowhere. Um, Technology in general. I mean, hell, now we have AI everything. Um, AI written books, AI Chat GBT, to where it's basically Google and in text form, and many people are cheating with it in colleges and all this fun stuff. But besides that point, like we did not have that when I was younger. Like 5 years ago, when I graduated high school, we did not have that. Like I don't remember what year it was. I think it was my sophomore maybe year of high school when Apple first announced their Apple Watches, their AirPod lineups. Now you got the Apple Watch Ultra 2. The 3 is going to be announced here in the next couple days. You got the AirPod Pros 2. You got really everything right now. And then, Samsung's, they got really, well, I guess the Android side of things, they've got their own things set up. Hell, I remember Google was just first, but I mean, just barely announcing their first phone lineups. Like they had the Google Nexus, but when it came to the Pixel lineup, I remember I was in college when I believe the Google Pixel 3 or 4 was barely being announced. And now they're up to the Google Pixel 8, folding phones. Like we have grown up in the advancement of technology and the advancement of social media. Because when I was young, everyone had a Facebook. I mean, still technically do. Like you could find someone off of Facebooks even to this day, whether it be a very old account or still just a recent one. You just keep up on things. I use it a lot for my business, for my real estate business. But like I look back and like everyone was on Facebook, had a Facebook. Excuse me. And then Instagram wasn't even a part of Meta. Instagram was their own business, and then Facebook at the time bought them out. And then Instagram is now all correlated with Facebook, but like the metaverse, with everything. And then Instagram started becoming very popular to where everyone was posting on Instagram. And that was the thing, like Instagram. And then you had your Twitter, your Tumblr, all these other fun stuff. Vine, Musical.ly. Now we have TikTok. Twitter is, people still consider it Twitter, even though it's x.com now. People still consider it Twitter. And Facebook has now lost really popularity. Now it's a website / app that are for the old people. Most people have now migrated over to Instagram. And on Snapchat, when I first had it back my middle school year, I'm talking probably 8 years ago. I'm 23, so yeah, about 8-9 years ago. It was just a simple app. You were able to take pictures, send them to your friends, like how the premise of Snapchat is now. But now it's been so more advanced. I mean, you have the spotlights, you have the map, you have Snapchat Premium Plus or whatever the hell it's named, Snapchat Plus, I think. A whole plethora of things. Like now it's more than just what it was. Same with Instagram. Now it's more than just what it was. And Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, like everything has been changing. And I look back to the new generation that's coming up, like the people that are in middle school, and I'm just like, wow, they're gonna grow up with things like what we grew up with. To them are gonna be ancient. Like they are growing up on TikTok. That was my Snapchat at the time. Like everyone was on Snapchat. Now, even then, depending on who you talk to, some people don't even use Snapchat anymore. It's ancient to them. They're like, yeah, I used it a lot in high school. I used it quite a bit in college, but as I just kind of grew older, kind of started focusing on more of relationships, family, my career. I really just stopped using Snapchat. I don't really use it as much. And it's just crazy how it was such a big thing when I was young, and now it's really starting to fade away. It's like, granted, Snapchat is still being used by many, but not my age. It's now mainly college students, younger college students, to high schoolers and middle schoolers. When before, everyone was using it because it was the thing. And nowadays, everything moves so fucking fast. What was popular a month ago is now considered old now, a month later. What was popular a year ago is now considered old now. And what was popular a year ago when it comes to, let's say, artists, no one listens to them anymore because of how fast these times go. Like, I remember an app called Be Real. It was popular, like, I believe it was a good year, 2 years ago, and I got told to download it. Downloaded it. I could see the premise, and it got old very fast. I stopped using it, and I don't even think really anyone uses Be Real anymore. Like, it's just crazy on how fast these times are going. And then like, and really just life, even just me, like, many things that I told myself I was going to accomplish in that 5-year mark, I've done zero. I've completely changed careers. I've changed in a whole different path. Everyone in high school I don't talk to anymore. Many aren't even on social media. They're ghosts now. They're ancient. Not that they're old. They just don't. They're no. They just aren't on it really anymore. Or the ones that are, we just don't talk anymore, which is weird because we all talked in high school. And like, I just look back at the times, and just kind of how everyone was all just bundled up in classes together. Everyone wondering, oh my God, how's life going to be right after we graduate? Oh my God, I can't wait to graduate. Your last first day of high school, all of that. And now, like, no one. Now it's not a first, last of whatever. It's just, hey, gotta wake up to go to work. Hey, it's the weekend. Let me go do something. Let me go relax or whatever. When before, it wasn't like that. Like, it was, you wake up to go to school, do your homework, or you just go to class, do your sports. If you did any activities, you do them. Then you go home, and depending on who you were, you would go to work, or did nothing for the weekend, or did your homework for the weekend. And that was it. Like, it's just crazy how times are. Like, someone that graduated a year before me, not before, after me, my bad. They now gonna have their third child, and I believe they're in the process of potentially getting married in the future. And it's like, wow. Like, and many others for being in real estate. Like, sometimes I've spoken to people at open houses, my age, literally my age, and here they are talking about, oh yeah, I have 2 kids and we're looking to buy a home. I'm like, what? Like, wow. Like, I'm over here struggling to pay rent, and you guys have already have 2 kids and looking to buy a home? What? And then when it comes to teachers, I sometimes just check to see how my high school's doing, my teachers, whatever. most teachers that I had in high school aren't even there anymore. Many retired. And it's interesting. It's just like, holy shit. Like, I just had you guys 5 years ago. How is it already retirement time? Like, it's crazy. And I don't know. Like, it's just been an interesting ride. Granted, it's probably how your 20s are, but that's really just how it's been. I mean, you're learning, you live and learn, but it's I don't know. It's just weird because being in a whole different town, meeting new people, it's just one of those where it's like, wow, I would have never thought any of this. I would have never thought I would even be in my hometown anymore. Talking to none of my classmates anymore. And then depending where, if I then move to a whole new state, I am now I left my old life back home and I'm now in the new town with the new life. Then once I leave this town to go somewhere else, if it happens, I have now left the old life here and have now moved to going to start a new life elsewhere. But it's just interesting how just it happens and how this life works. And you meet new people, you meet new friends, and now here you are bonding over similar interests with people you would have never thought. Like, it's just interesting to me. I know it's probably not a huge deal to others, but to me, it's just interesting. It's shocking to just see how fast, how really my life has moved. Whether it be for the better or for the worst, it's just interesting on how fast it's been moving. I mean, I'm excited for the future, but it's just shocking and exciting to just see this and just be like, wow. Like, it's just interesting to me. Have you guys thought about the same? Like, have you guys at some point ever thought, wow, like, have you ever looked life and now you're in an apartment in a whole different town, potentially a whole different city in the same state, out of the state in a new city or new town? Like, do you ever just kind of look at that and just say, wow, like, I would have never thought I'd be here? Like, 5 years ago, I was on the bus headed to South Platte to play a football game. Not just kidding. We actually had South Platte was a home game. But, here we are talking about Friday Night Lights. And now it's like, oh, like, Friday Night Lights now are, all right, my home, time to go to bed. Like, it's weird. It's just weird how life works. But thank you for tuning. Thank you for listening like always. I really appreciate it. I really love my listeners. Thank you to the people who listen. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.